Scottails. Oh. Hi everybody and welcome to another edition of Scottails. My name is Scott Hostetler. You know, I recently went into a bar and I asked the bartender for the Wi-Fi password. He said, you have to buy a drink first. I said, okay, so give me an old fashioned. So he made one, gave it to me and said, that'll be $20. $20? Well, okay. Now tell me, what's the Wi-Fi password? He said, you have to buy a drink first. All lowercase, no spaces. Cheers. So anyway, the definition of cocktail, the very first time it was in print in the United States at least, was a Hudson, New York newspaper in 1806, and it defined cocktail as any stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. Well, that sounds like an old-fashioned, doesn't it? Yes, it does, and that's what we're doing today, an old-fashioned. We're going to use Buffalo Trace from Kentucky. Buffalo Trace is 90 proof, and it comes from a distillery that also includes Pappy Van Winkle. So you can buy this for $25, or you can spend $4,000 on Pappy Van Winkle 23-year-old. If you happen to have some and you want to share, give me a call. I'll come over, we'll try it out. So, my take on the old-fashioned is from the corner, Chris Grodak. He makes a great old-fashioned. I tweak it a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. First, you use 2 parts bourbon. Old-fashioned is probably my favorite drink. Then he uses a teaspoon of simple syrup. I like to use 2 tablespoons-ish. That's about 1, 2, because I like it a little sweeter. And we know simple syrup is 1-to-1 sugar dissolved into water to make it sweet. Now, he also uses Angostura Bitters, which I use. He says 5, 6 dashes of it. Well, I'm going to use 3. And in addition, I'm going to use orange bitters. This makes it a little more fruity and a little more floral. Then we take our spoon, give it a little twisty poo. Then we take our glass with a huge hunk of ice in it. You want to use a big ice cube because it'll cool the drink but not dilute it too much. So we take that and we pour it in to the old-fashioned glass. Take an orange peel, you twist it, and what this does is let the citrus oils go in and then rim it around the top. You rim it around the top because that gives it the fragrance. When you put your nose in it, you get the citrus all over. Then you drop it in, and I like to let it sit for just a second. You know, a cowboy walks into a saloon and his shirt and his vest are made of wax paper and his chaps, pants, and boots are made of tissue paper. He was arrested for rustling. Let's try the drink. Yes! Great nose, like I say, the citrus nose in there. And a wonderful, refreshing drink. Now, Jeffrey Morgenthaler is another bartender, and he has a rum old-fashioned. Now, you know how pirates love rum. Well, do you know what a pirate says when he becomes an octogenarian? "Aye, matey, years old." Aww. I thought it was cute. Anyway, the rum we're going to use today is Bamboo. It is, see where X marks the spot that shows that pirates like it. It's pirate approved. It is made in Panama, 18 years old. You can use 12-year-old rum. You want to use a good rum to make it because you want to have this quality drink. 18 years in an American white oak bourbon barrels. It's aged, and then it's finished in cherry barrels. And we're going to do the same thing here too. 2 rum. Ooh. Beautiful. You know, pirates are not very careful. So, 2 rum. Good stuff. Then we're going to use the same little splash of simple syrup. I like about 2 tablespoons. Then we're going to use the Angostura Bitters. 3 drops of that. 1, 2, 3. Then the orange bitters. Simple as this. 1, 2, 3. So, now this, we don't use the orange, we use lime. Give the lime a twist, and then we're not using this glass, we're using our big glass. Using the big glass with the huge hunk of ice in it, because it is an old fashioned, and it wouldn't be an old fashioned if you didn't do that with it. Didn't have a big hunk of ice. Again, rim the top and let it marinate just for a moment. You know, a pirate captain saw a ship, enemy ship, coming up to attack them, and he said to his first mate, he says, "Bring me coat." And the first mate says, "Why, Captain?" He says, "Because we're going into battle, and if I sweat, I don't want the men to see me sweat. They may lose faith, and we'll lose the battle." So the captain put his coat on. He did sweat, but the men were forthright, and they won the battle. The next day, he saw 2 enemy ships coming towards his ship to attack. He said to his first mate, "Aye, bring me red shirt." He said, "Well, why, Captain?" He says, "Because if I'm hit and I bleed and the men see me, they'll lose face. And then we could lose their confidence and we could lose the battle." "Good idea, Captain." Well, the next day they open up and there's 10 ships coming to attack him. The captain looked at the first mate and said, "Bring me brown pants." Aww. So now we're going to try out the Old Fashioned.
Yes!
Ooh. That is smooth. The Bamboo XO is very smooth. You can use it over ice, but it's also wonderful in this Old Fashioned. So remember, thanks for joining us. My name's Scott Hosteller. Drink up, because it's almost closing time somewhere.